Hello, this is Nico and Marianne, and we're going to do some T-touch. And I have set up the camera, but I'm not sure that anything is going to get. I needed to get my hands a little bit better for you rather than a full body shot. So you're probably not going to get her head, or at least part of it. So, and I do have a little cheat sheet right here because I wanted to remember the order in which I wanted to do these T-touches. And there's only going to be 6 of them in this video. And the first one is Noah's March. I have to laugh because I don't know who came up with the names of all these T-touches, but they're just amazing. Like Noah's March to where? As the history professor that I'm thinking about Sherman's March to the Sea. And I'm thinking, well, okay, I know that was in the Civil War, but I have no idea what Noah's March is. Except that, for me, it would be simply very much like the Swedish massage effleurage. Just a light stroking from the top of the body to the back of the body, from the head to the tail, just very lightly. And then down the legs, the extremities to the, to the toes and stuff. Very light. This is kind of like the effleurage in that you look for, or you might be able to feel, some of, bumps or lumps or hot spots or spots that might be a little painful for the dog. But it's a good way to begin the massage with some T-touch, and it's the way that you end it. So very lightly stroking. The next thing is the clouded leopard. I guess this is the one where a lot of the T-touch circles come from, the clouded leopard. Again, I have absolutely no idea why they came up with that. But your hand rests on the body with the fingers a little bit curved, a little bit like this maybe. And the pads of your fingers push the skin. And here's where we get the circles. And I thought this was interesting. I don't know who came up, well, I'm sure that I can find it if I really want to research it. But the circles are actually a circle and a quarter. So if I was explaining some of the, I would say, put your hand on 6:30 on the clock. And then in a circle, you're going to take your fingers around, all the way around to 7:30. Yes, I know. And then an extra 15 minutes. Yes. Is that right, Nico? It is. So basically, it is a circle and a quarter. And I have to remember that T-touch is not massage. You're moving the skin. You're not moving across the skin like in a massage, but you're moving the massage in 1 1/4 circles. And the varying strengths of it, and it seems to me like with Nico, she likes the very light stroke. If I get a little bit heavier, then she has a little bit of a problem. It doesn't have a problem, but it's just, I can tell she prefers a lighter stroke at this point, and that's good. And so we move then from the clouded leopard, which is where the pads of the fingers and thumb are actually doing this touch in a circle and a quarter. Now we go to the lying leopard. It's the only one that makes sense, because if you're going to go from the clouded leopard to the lying leopard is where your hand lies down a little bit more on the skin. So while you may be using these fingers, your whole hand and your thumb is kind of quiet there. Only the fingers do the circle. But you have pretty much the whole hand and everything that provides some warmth for the dog. So your hand is a little bit more on there. I know, and in the book she talks about, you know, after 3 or 4 of these to just kind of sit for a little bit, just a little calmly, and let the dog absorb what you've just done before you move on. So that is the lying leopard, where your hand is lying a little bit more on the skin. Your fingertips are still doing the stuff, but your whole hand is providing some heat. And then we move to the raccoon touch. Now, it says on there that a lot of this is about the mouth and the head, but I don't think my camera is going to get there, and I don't want to get up off the bed and change it. But in your video, you also say it could be a body work. But you're going to use on the raccoon the tips of the fingers, which is kind of cool. Focus on the head and around the neck, and around the mouth, but you also say you can do this on the rest of the body. So that's what we're going to do in this. And it would be good with swelling and that sort of thing. Use the tips of the fingers and light pressure through the circular movements, circle and a quarter, and using your fingertips. And she seems to be okay with this. And I know I'm only demonstrating on a certain part of her body, but that's because I can't change the camera every 2 seconds. But this is using your fingertips. Good girl. That was so good. And then we move to the bear. Okay. Now we're actually using fingertips, and all the information talks about, you know, your fingernails being medium length. Well, mine aren't. They're short because I'm not going to have medium to long length nails. I do too much with my hands, and so I like short nails, but they still have a tip to them. So in the bear touch, you're going to keep your fingers together. All right, directly, the fingertip directly on the skin. So, but you're going to keep your fingers together and you're going to do the circles. That's a good girl. That's a very good girl. Is that fun? Okay, it is. That's a very funny girl. I might even be able to do the raccoon with her face right here, but I don't want to upset what I'm doing. And we'll do the quarter circle, the circle and a quarter, but our fingers are together on the bear touch. Is that good? Shall we try a little bit of the raccoon just about your mouth? Oh, yes, very tiny little circles around your head. Good. I don't know if camera's getting any of this. Good girl. Okay, now we're moving from the bear touch, which has got the fingers together like that, but it's still the fingertips that are to the tiger touch. And this is kind of cool. It's the only one that sounds out of these 6 like, you know, we should know what it is, because your hands turn into a claw, a tiger claw. So with the fingers together on the bear touch, now we open them up to a claw. And we're going to do the same thing with the fingertips, a little bit heavier. The fingers are curved. They're separated. And a little bit stronger pressure. Circle and a quarter. Circle and a quarter. The nails should make contact. Okay. Good job. And then afterwards, we'll do a little bit more of Noah's march to wherever Noah is marching. very lightly. Yes. Good job. And so that should be T-Touch 1 through 6. Noah's March, the Clouded Leopard, the Lying Leopard, then the Raccoon Touch, the Bear Touch, and the Tiger Touch. And now we'll turn off the camera and see if it turned out okay. Good job, little girlie. Good job.